Hey guys, as you guys may have known, I have been dealing with a lot recently. In my most recent video, I touched on the things that basically happened, being betrayed and deceived by a few people, those who are close and those who are far, and it kind of just wasn't the best time and not the best start to the year. But I decided to take some baby steps back to recovery, and let me tell you guys, I feel absolutely great. I just want to say I do apologize for this video being a week late. Quite a lot of things have happened in the past week and two. It has just been really hectic. Long story cut short, pretty much I thought I wasn't going to have a job leading up to this video, and I was stressing everything under the sun trying to find a job. And though I did get some offers and stuff, things turned out well and things turned out okay. So I'm back, I'm fine. I do apologize, as I said, for missing and being late by a week. So I do apologize for that. Please forgive me. If you guys are new here, my name is Mal. I'm a 20-something-year-old trying to figure out ways to a better lifestyle. In this video, I want to touch on a few small tips that you can do and take back to recovery. Whatever you are dealing with right now, I definitely believe these tips will be of great benefit to you. So I encourage you to keep watching, but before we get into the main part of this video, I just wanted to say our subscribers back in the last video commented and mentioned that maybe we should start a Discord community. I think that's great. I've literally just seen and read all of your comments by paper, on text and on YouTube and sometimes through Instagram when I had it. But I've never really met anyone. I've never really met any of my subscribers, never really heard your voices and all of that. So I thought it was a great idea. And so I made a little Discord community for us that you can click down in the description below and find. So click on the link and it should be able to link you to the group. And yeah, pop in, say hi, let's have a chat, let's chill, and let's get to know each other. I think it's probably the next step that we can do and take into building this community and just becoming closer, stronger, and better. So, like I said, click down in the description below, the link is there. Other than that, let's get it rolling. The first tip I want to give you guys today is to create a plan. I always start off with mental planning. So wherever I'm at, wherever I'm walking, I always have a mental plan going on in my head. What I'm going to do from the day to day, what I'm going to do from the week to week, month to month, whatever it is. I like to create a mental plan first. Now, depending on the length or the time of the goal, I really believe it's important and probably extremely essential that you write down those plans to paper. Put your thoughts to the paper. Reason why I say that is because our human brain, yes, we remember a lot of things, but it doesn't retain every single thing. I mean, we can all attest to that when we're trying to study for an exam and all of a sudden you don't remember a damn thing. So write it down to paper. You will memorize it a lot better, and it's always good to have a list and a physical proof of your goals, your objectives, your ambitions. Write it down. It's also good to have a checklist, if you like, as well, where you can just check things off, what the goals that you want to complete this year. I know I've done one as well, and I'm pretty much checked. I've pretty much checked 2 out of maybe the 15 goals that I wrote down, but it's good. I definitely think it's good, and that you guys should do it too. So those are the first steps into creating a plan. Tip number 2 is to pick a goal. Pick a goal or objective that you want to complete. Preferably one short-term and one long-term goal. And then just work on that. And once you feel comfortable, you can probably take 2 on at a time or just keep working at the one. Okay, and then just repeat. For me, I definitely believe it's good to work on one short-term and one long-term at the same time. For example, your day-to-day, whether it be exercise or saving money, going for a walk 30 minutes a day. And long-term could be something like getting out of debt. Maybe you have money that you're owing to Afterpay or Zip, whatever it is. Get out of debt. Especially with debt, like in this day and age, debt can really just put a chokehold on you, and it constricts and restricts everything you do, and it's just not a good feeling to have because you owe someone. or you owe something. The third tip is to execute the plan. Now, as I mentioned before, walking 30 minutes or maybe 45 minutes a day, that is a short-term goal that you can do. Eating better, eating right for a day, those are short-term goals that you can mentally do, mentally have in your head, mentally plan, but also good to write down on paper if you feel the need to. Things that you could do, like getting your steps up, for example. I made a video on that, walking 10,000 steps without even giving it a thought. You guys can check that video out right up here, and you'd be surprised about the things that can really get your steps up. Walking instead of taking public transport, or even doing chores. You'd be surprised at how many steps you take doing chores. Whether it's washing the dishes, doing the washing, or cleaning the kitchen, or living room, whatever it is, your steps they accumulate quite quickly. So it's just simple things like that, and that is a very productive thing to do. If you think about it, you're fixing the space around you, the space that you live in, and not really leaving and procrastinating and leaving things last minute, or not even paying attention and doing anything at all. Trust me, a clean room helps foster a clean mind. Now, when we move into something more like long-term execution could be something like, for example, getting out of debt, paying your school or your student loans back in installments. And for example, I had a $3,000 debt with the current computer that I have right now, which I'm video editing on right now. Essentially how it happened and how I got to that point, because I am anti-debt. I try to get out of any debt that I can be in. And essentially, when I had COVID on earlier this year, on the third day of my 7-day isolation, my computer finally died. And it was heartbreaking. So I had not much money on me. I decided, you know what, I'm going to download Zip, which is like a loan app that you can download. And I basically paid as much as I could for the computer, which was actually totaled up to $3,500. And I put in $500 because I just did not want to pay. I wanted to pay the lease back to this app. And so I did. It was $3,000 over 3 months. That was my goal. I decided I was going to pay it back as soon as I could, and I did. I paid it back on time, and I am now out of debt. So, woohoo! Once the debts have completely gone, that's when you can start working on other goals. And I feel like this is a common goal for everyone, and it should be a common goal for everyone, and that's savings. So once you get out of debt, and whatever debt that you have, get rid of all of it, because there's no point putting money in your savings if you have debt. Okay, get rid of that debt. It's always going to be there, and it's just going to build up. A lot of times these days, I don't know what debt doesn't accumulate with the interest. So let's, like I said, get rid of the debt and then start going back into it. I'm not necessarily debt free. I still got my student loan to pay off, and probably will try my best to pay that off for the next 10 years. But other than that, a good place to start is saving 20%. You can start by saving 20, 15, 10% of your paycheck, and that will accumulate. And that's money that you do not touch. You can put that towards an investment fund, you can put it towards an investment or index funds or whatever it is. It's most likely probably better there than just sitting in your bank account. And if those things you don't feel comfortable with, just leave it somewhere untouched. I'd also like to add on top of that it's good to have an emergency fund. Now, as I mentioned early on in this video, I was stressing about finding another job. And the biggest reason why I was stressing about finding another job was because I wasn't sure, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't going to make rent the next month. So that was the stress that I had put on, not just myself, but onto my sister and my mom. They would have to cover me, and I'm a type of person, no matter who you are, whether you're my mom or my sister or my brother or whatever, I don't want to rely on you. You know, I don't want to, wouldn't say rely, like, it's not a bad thing to rely on them, but I don't want to burden them. Which means I don't want to burden anyone else. If I'm not burdening my family, I don't want to burden anyone else. Absolutely nobody but myself. That's just me. I'm always like that. I don't like relying on anyone but me. half the time it's because they get disappointed. Yeah, so that's that. The final tip for today is to stay consistent. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real here. There will be days where you will want to indulge, you want to binge, you want to feel sorry for yourself, or you want to make yourself feel better. You'll go out and you'll do whatever you need to do. Okay? You may take a few steps back, but always remember that you're still walking on that path. And that path is leading to that goal that you've set early on, whether it be short term or long term. As long as your eyesight and your objective is to still get to that goal, it's alright. You may take a detour. It's okay. Just get back on the path. Okay? Another thing, probably, and the last thing I wanted to add is trial and error. It's not always going to be perfect. Progress is probably 99% never linear. Like, for example, weight loss. My weight loss journey was never linear. In fact, it went like that. And then now it's just like going up. And I'm trying to like bring it down, but like it keeps going up. That was a weird birth. But that's what it pretty much was. That's pretty much what it is right now. And right now it's kind of like staying steady, and I'm just trying to push it down and stuff, but it keeps, it just doesn't budge. Trial and error, guys. So don't be hard on yourself. If you feel like, for example, the saving 20% per paycheck is a lot, bring it down to 15%, bring it down to 10%, even 5%. That stuff accumulates over time, and in the end, you don't even notice how much you've saved. And you'd be surprised. And I reckon you'd be happy. You'd be really happy that you've got some funds there that you did not touch, that either could be used for something long term, or like I said again, emergency funds. I definitely believe it's more important to put in something for your emergency fund more than your long term. I reckon $1,000 to $2,000 from a lot of the authors and the financial advice that I've been given and read as well. $2,000 is probably a sweet spot for an emergency fund, and that's money that it's best to put into a high interest savings account that can accumulate a lot better than 0.2% interest. Like, we're getting too much into numbers, but like I said, it's a lot better putting it away, putting it in an account where it just keeps building up. The account you don't even see, pay attention to. You owe that to yourself. Okay, you owe yourself. What's those things you throw out into the ocean? My mind is going blank at the moment. When you get, like, you save somebody, you throw out. It's not an anchor. That's the shit that pulls you down. What's the rubby ducky? I don't know. It's not the rubby ducky. I don't know what it is. It's you throw out the floaty, I guess. You throw. I forgot the saying, but you know what I mean. You throw that thing out to the person catches it in the water because they're like, "Oh, help me! I'm drowning." That thing, you owe that to yourself. When you fall off that ship or you're drowning, oh jeez, it's always good to have a backup. So that's something that I learned the hard way recently. So my departing message to you guys is take your time, do not rush, and remember that you are always in command. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do really appreciate that you've stayed until the end of it. And if you guys found this video helpful, feel free to give it a like. If you guys have any questions, queries, quarrels, concerns, inquiries, or whatever, or like to share your thoughts, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. And if you guys want to stay up to date with us and become a part of our little tight-knit community, press that subscribe button down there. But with that being said, guys, like always, stay safe, stay tuned, and stay true. Until the next time, take care.